Good morning, students. Grade 12 Entrepreneurship. Today we will understand the concept of inventory control. Very crucial because we'll be understanding a lot of related concepts to this, like Pareto's principle, ABC analysis, which are all dependent upon how good you understand this topic. All right. Today we will understand what is inventory. Inventory means what? According to many people think that inventory is stock, goods. No, anything that is there that is listed. Long ago for wedding invitations, also people used to say that is the inventory list ready? Inventory, matlab total number of items that are there. It need not be critically any one particular item. Items that make up the inventory. Today we will be trying to understand this concept. Items that make up the inventory. The first one is referred to as SKU, that is stock keeping unit. Each and every item in the inventory is to be identified with a unique code which signifies certain aspects of the item. That means the color, the size, the weight. SKU code is usually used, but we hardly notice it. Even in the shops there will be an SKU code, but we hardly able to notice it. Right? I will show you children example of SKU code. See, this is a Levi's jeans. Right. The coding, see, look at the coding. The first word is LEV, that is Levis. And then the kind of leg, straight cut it is, SL. And if it is black in color, the BLK black coat. The waist size is 34, that is why it is giving 34. And it is what it is? It is a jean. That is why it is JN. This kind of, in the tag, in the price tag also you will find this kind of coding. This coding is also infrared connected, so whenever you try to steal something, there's an alarm. All right. Right, this is how coding is done, children, in pharmaceutical industry. Now look at another example. Polo shirt. PO for polo, TS for, it's a t-shirt. Shoulder size is 34 and BK stands for black. Every company has its own way of identifying the coding. Now when you look at the previous example, BLK is black, but polo shirt prefers BK to be black. It's their own interest. Right. The second one is referred to as motley crowd. Understand, look at the picture carefully, children. Lots and lots and volumes of inventory is kept. It's stocked up like it's in volumes. Right. A pyramid of all the inventory. Pyramid matlab bahut bada pahad. It's a very big amount, huge amount. What is motley crowd? It refers to a myriad of numbers. So see, imagine how many SKUs will be there. I told you what is coding. How much of coding will be done in this area? Look at the goods that they have manufactured, and they are certain may be in working progress, certain goods may be semi-finished, certain goods may be completely finished. What about the packaging material? All right, got it? So you have to understand that what is motley crowd. Motley crowd is nothing but the treatment of each class has to be different. Certain goods in this picture that you have seen may be classified as raw material, as packaging material, spare parts, semi-finished goods, finished goods, consumables. The different categories of inventory. All of them have to, suppose it is raw material, it should be RW or RM. Some companies use packing materials as PSC, some use as PM, spare parts SP, semi-finished SMG, finished goods FG, consumables CO. Different kinds of words, abbreviations are used depending upon the company's choice. Right. Third one is space. Space requirement for all the items are not identical, children. Some space has no relationship with the cost. That you have to remember, that space has got nothing to do with the cost. For example, bulky items may be of low value and high value items may be with low volume. It can be vice versa also. So let's take an example. Straw in the paper mill consumes more space, but it is of very less use. Yes or no? In a paper manufacturing industry. Diamonds occupy less space, but they are high in value. Yes or no? Diamonds are having very tiny space. Right. But they are very, very high in volume. Now we talk about the value. All SKUs, means stock keeping units, do not have the same value. We will learn that in Pareto's principle and elaborate. Right. Now what is lead time? What is lead time? Lead time is nothing but the time taken to manufacture or procure depends upon many factors. We saw it in the CCC, cash conversion cycle also. The combined effect of factors like standard or specialized raw material, processing time, scheduling of machines, distance between the source and the user point, all these factors have to be kept in mind before you decide the lead time. What could be the lead time to manufacture, a product. See, the work starts here, the work ends here. The time gap between the beginning of the work and the completion of the task is referred to as lead time. Alright? Lead time process. Work is received, work is idle, nobody has switched on the machine. Friday evening ko mila, Saturday, Sunday chutti tha. Right? This is the process time, and this is work is idle, and then the work is passed to the next process. It is in the waiting list. Got it? Understood? Now, standard versus made to order. Customized product. Made to order means customized product. Some items of the inventory could be items, no significant differentiation. Everyone is the same. Every item is the same. For 100 kgs of sugar is required to manufacture a chocolate. It doesn't make any difference which first 100 kg it is. All the hundreds have been procured from the same source. But when I specifically need strawberry in the chocolate combination, a particular, when I'm asking to make to order, customizing it, then you may have very limited resources, because you are not, it's not a generalized product, it's a customized, tailor-made product. All right. Seasonality of supply. This is another important concept that we should understand. Demand not uniform and predictable. Demand for an item could be seasonal. Say for example, festive season, weather depending upon the weather, the school reopening season. In some cases it is easy to predict, and in some cases it is very difficult to predict the requirement. Example, spare parts. With regard to the festive season, weather and school reopening, I can identify that generally schools reopen in June, so we will have demand for stationery, etc. Whether in winter we need sweaters and pullovers. Festive season like Diwali, there will be excessive sale of sweets and crackers and other things, but these are all predictable. Certain things like spare parts, suddenly the machine is not working, we didn't expect that the machine will go into repair or will run into maintenance, we did not expect it, right? So there is a demand for spare part during such time, which is an unexpected thing. One or the other day this will happen, but you are not sure pretty much when it will happen, right? Example of easy to predict forecast items are crackers, during the Diwali season. Example of not so easy to forecast is your spare parts. I've just given the image of a spare part that is required in a heavy plant and machinery enabled setup. Shelf life, durability of the product. Perishable items like fruits, vegetables, fish. Special storage is required for cold storage and freezers, for vaccines, for beef and other kinds of non-vegetarian food or medicinal medicinal products. Manufactured or medicinal goods also have an expiry date. These factors have financial implications and pose constraint on inventory management. You should be very careful. Depending upon the durability also, the inventory or shelf life will change. When you look at the shelf life of cosmetics, eye cream shadow or a blush or a bronzer or a nail color, everything has a lifespan. Till that time you can keep it in the warehouse or a godown, and the customer also has to be aware. But when you look at medicines, some medicines may expire in 1 year, some medicines in 1 month, some medicines may expire in 3 days, depending upon the combination of medicine. Safety aspects. Hazardous goods require special precautions. Example, when you're manufacturing gasoline, combustible items, all these require double precautions. When you're in mines, working in mines also, you need double precaution. Factories manufacturing safety matches, phosphorus and potassium chlorate are not stored in the same or even adjoining areas. You know why? Accidentally, if they get mixed up, boom, there is a blast. Right? So the science students will be having a better knowledge of this. Those factories that are manufacturing safety matches, that is match boxes, they don't keep the phosphorus, potassium chlorate or any other item that is required for the manufacture of such matches in nearby areas. They don't even keep it in adjoining areas because they are scared, the fear of accidental mix-up. Right? Look, this is the original manufacturer. Their path of delivery to respective end-use point do not match, because there is a chance that it may catch up fire. That is the very reason they try to keep it separate. right? I hope you have understood the inventory control. What did we try to understand in this topic? We try to understand that inventory could be anything that can be kept. It need not necessarily be like your stock in goods or raw material. It could be anything that is kept inside. We started with understanding SKU coding, and then we understood Motley's Crowd. We understood the shelf life, the durability, the safety aspects, the value, and all the concepts related to inventory. In case you have any doubts, feel free to ask. Thank you and have a fantastic day. Dada Sham.